In the high-stakes world of professional football, where emotions run as hot as the gridiron itself, moments of raw intensity between players and coaches can define not just a game, but an entire season's narrative. Such was the case during a tense matchup between the Kansas City Chiefs and the New York Giants at the sprawling MetLife Stadium, a venue that has witnessed countless dramatic turns in the NFL's storied history. As the clock ticked down toward halftime with the Chiefs clinging to a modest 6-0 lead, a confrontation erupted on the sideline that captured the attention of millions watching from living rooms, sports bars, and stadium seats alike. At the center of this storm was Travis Kelce, the charismatic tight end whose larger-than-life personality has made him a household name far beyond the football field, and Andy Reid, the venerable head coach whose strategic genius has propelled the Chiefs to multiple Super Bowl triumphs. The incident unfolded in the wake of a critical play that encapsulated the Chiefs' ongoing struggles on offense. Harrison Butker, the team's reliable kicker known for his booming leg and clutch performances in high-pressure situations, lined up for a 40-yard field goal attempt. The kick, which sailed wide of the uprights, marked Butker's third miss of the season, a statistic that hung heavy in the air like a dark cloud over the Chiefs' aspirations. The team, already reeling from lackluster showings in their opening games, needed every point they could muster to build momentum. Kelce, ever the fiery competitor with a reputation for wearing his heart on his sleeve, could no longer contain his frustration. As Reid, in a moment of sideline navigation, accidentally bumped Kelce on the shoulder, the tight end seized the opportunity to vent. What followed was a heated exchange, with Kelce leaning in close, yelling directly into Reid's ear. The cameras caught every angle, Kelce's animated gestures, his face flushed with intensity, and Reid's measured but visibly exasperated response. Commentators on the broadcast couldn't help but dissect the moment in real time, pointing out the palpable frustration etched on both men's faces. "This is passion," one analyst remarked, "but it's the kind that can either fuel a comeback or fracture a team's unity." To understand the depth of this confrontation, one must delve into the broader context of the Chiefs' season thus far. Coming off a dominant run that included back-to-back Super Bowl victories, the expectations for Kansas City were sky-high. Patrick Mahomes, the franchise quarterback whose arm talent and improvisational wizardry have rewritten the NFL playbook, was under the microscope to deliver another championship-caliber campaign. Yet, the early games had exposed vulnerabilities that no one anticipated. Their season opener against the Chargers in Brazil, a bold international venture aimed at expanding the league's global footprint, ended in disappointment, marred by an unfortunate on-field collision involving Kelce himself. In a cruel twist of fate, Kelce's accidental tangle with wide receiver Xavier Worthy resulted in an injury that sidelined the promising young speedster, disrupting the Chiefs' offensive rhythm and forcing adjustments that the team was still grappling with. Fast forward to Week 2 against the Eagles, and another Kelce mishap, a bobble of a perfectly thrown pass from Mahomes just inches from the end zone, robbed Kansas City of what could have been a game-sealing touchdown. These moments weren't just statistical footnotes. They were emotional gut punches for a locker room accustomed to perfection. Against this backdrop, the Giants' game represented a crossroads. The New York team, perennial underdogs in the NFC East, brought a gritty defense that tested the Chiefs at every turn. Early in the game, Kansas City's offense sputtered, managing only a pair of field goals to nurse their slim lead. The air was thick with tension, fans in red chanting Mahomes' name, while Giants supporters hurled taunts from the stands. Kelce, who had been relatively quiet statistically up to that point, felt the weight of the offense's stagnation more acutely than most. As a tight end, his role extends beyond catching passes. He's a blocker, a route runner, and often the emotional barometer for the team. His outburst at Reid wasn't born in a vacuum but from a culmination of bottled-up energy, a desire to ignite the spark that had been missing. Reid, for his part, has long been the steady hand guiding the Chiefs through turbulent waters. At 65 years old, with a coaching resume that spans decades and includes stints with the Eagles where he nearly won a Super Bowl, Reid embodies the calm amid chaos. His offensive schemes, innovative and adaptive, have made the Chiefs the envy of the league. Yet even legends like Reid aren't immune to the pressures of the moment. The sideline bump, likely an inadvertent jostle in the heat of play, served as the perfect trigger for Kelce's release. Reid's response, though brief and composed, spoke volumes. He didn't escalate. Instead, he absorbed the intensity, a testament to the deep bond forged between coach and player over years of shared triumphs and trials. Post-game reflections offered a window into the duo's dynamic. In the glow of a hard-fought 22-9 victory, the Chiefs' first of the season, Reid addressed the media with his trademark blend of humor and wisdom. "I love Travis's passion," he said, a smile creasing his face as he recounted their history of tense moments. He harkened back to the 2024 Super Bowl, a pinnacle of NFL glory where the Chiefs defended their title against all odds. During that game, in a moment of unchecked fervor, Kelce had bumped into Reid on the sideline and unleashed a tirade that echoed through the stadium. Later, Kelce owned up to it, admitting he'd crossed the line, but reaffirming his profound respect for Reid's leadership. "I love playing for Coach Reid," Kelce had said then, his voice thick with emotion. "He's the reason we're here." Reid, ever the paternal figure, waved it off, emphasizing that such fire is what separates good teams from great ones. This latest clash, then, was less a fracture and more a familiar ritual, one that underscores the trust underpinning their relationship. Kelce's intensity isn't recklessness, it's the fuel that propels him to elite status. With over 10,000 receiving yards and dozens of touchdowns under his belt, Kelce has evolved from a solid contributor to a bona fide superstar, his chemistry with Mahomes rivaling the greatest quarterback-receiver duos in history. Off the field, his podcast ventures, high-profile romance with pop sensation Taylor Swift, and charitable endeavors have amplified his influence, making him a cultural icon. Yet, it's moments like these that remind everyone of his roots, a blue-collar grinder from Ohio who thrives on adversity. The victory over the Giants wasn't just a box score win, it was a statement. In the second half, the Chiefs' offense finally clicked, with Mahomes orchestrating drives that showcased their explosive potential. Kelce contributed with key receptions, including a diving grab that set up a crucial score. Butker, perhaps spurred by the earlier miss, redeemed himself with a long field goal that sealed the deal. As the final whistle blew, the sideline tension dissolved into celebration. Hugs, helmet slaps, and that signature Chiefs camaraderie. For Reid, it was validation of his philosophy. Let the players play, channel the emotion, and trust the process.